deep for Purdue. Rod Woodson, who leads the Big Ten in returns, along with Jerry Chaney. And we are underway. Purdue and Iowa from Iowa City. Jerry Chaney breaks it big over the 40, after the 45, and Purdue will take over with excellent field position. Doug Downing is starting at quarterback for the Boilermakers. Jeff George, the freshman, is not in, still nursing that bad back. And they go on the ground on first down. Jerry Chaney is starting in that backfield for the Boilermakers, stopped by Kenny Sims. And this time Iowa stops the run cold. Mike Bowen in on the hit. Mike Burke. Purdue off. Long count by Downing. He'll go to the air for the first time. He's in trouble. Kepi was on him. And a great play by Hank. Dave Hank got a hand on the ball as Downing tried to toss it across the middle. And Iowa's back deep for Iowa at the 15-yard line. And Iowa comes after it, almost blocked the punt. Marciano calls for the fair catch at the 16-yard line. Last week against Illinois, Iowa blocked the punt and two. Bayless with the inside handoff. Has a running room. Bayless up to the 30-yard line. Finally driven out of bounds, but a big gainer on first down for Bayless. Tom Poholsky, number 14, the redshirt freshman, starting at quarterback instead of the senior, Mark Vlasic. And it's Bayless again. Finds some running room. Mark Foster coming up to make the stop. Bayless has been... Poholsky will go to the air. He's looking to Smith. And it's Quinn Early coming down. Beautiful catch by Early. The ball was thrown behind him. Early hung on. Another first down for Iowa, and they are in Boilermaker territory. Punt, the leading punt returner in the Big Ten. Iowa is moving the football. First and 10 from the 34. Richard Bass with his first carry of the afternoon. Murky Williams and Jim Morrow all in the game, giving him a potent wide receiver core in. Quick pass to Robert Smith is good enough for first down yardage. Smith out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Robert Smith and Quinn Early are split wide left, but Iowa goes on the ground. Richard Bass fights his way to the 15-yard line. Fred Strickland made the stop along with Murky Williams.
These passes downfield, and I think that's what they're doing, offsetting the plays back and forth between Bayless and Bass.
Rick Bayless, who almost hit behind the line of scrimmage, somehow shook loose, picked up 2, maybe 3 more yards before Mike Weaver brought him down.
Take some of the burden off his shoulders.
Marshall Cotton is in motion. Third down and 3, and Iowa is not going to get it. Bayless tried to bounce it outside.
Preventing a first down here.
4th and 3. And it is the naked quarterback sneak. Poholsky, that is shades of a year or so ago when Chuck Long faked inside, took it around for a touchdown. Started at the 13-yard line. Poholsky throws it into Rod Woodson, and he may go all the way. Rod Woodson, nobody's going to catch him. He is the fastest man on that Purdue team. So in one quick pass, Purdue turns it around. Woodson with a 98-yard return.
That's more than 98 yards.
In the end zone when
that
he
was 2 yards deep in the end zone when he returned
that 102-yard return. Rod Woodson.
We talked about the potential of Rod Woodson as a big play receiver. Watch Poholsky check twice and tries to fire this ball into Robert Smith. Woodson steps right in front of it. That's 5 yards deep in the end zone. Now, you got to remember, Robert Smith is the fastest man on this Hawkeye team, and you don't even see him in the picture here as Woodson takes off down the sidelines. This is just a foot race.
Woodson, 3-time a Big Ten indoor track champ in the 55-meter hurdle, so you know he's got some speed. And with that interception, he sets a new record for interceptions at Purdue. Extra point is up, and it is good. So Purdue breaks Iowa's momentum. Big return.
The Boilermakers on the board first, and the momentum has changed in one quick drop of the eye.
Kevin Harmon had an opening, but fell at the 25-yard line. Harmon had some running room, but slipped on the backfield lineup in the eye. Poholsky still at quarterback. Rick Bayless picks up 7, 8 yards, almost a first down.
Opportunities for him, or more big play opportunities on second.
Second down and 1. Bayless again. And he breaks the plane at the 35. May have been enough for the first down. Just needed one. Kevin Holly, the nose guard, making the tackle. Bayless watches the game, just a habit he picked up when he was a quarterback. First and 10 from the 36. Poholsky goes to the air again and almost picked off again. It was intended for Robert Smith. Scott Kalinowski announced his resignation. He is still coaching the team, and there's no telling how that affects the team. Iowa's going long for Quinn Early. He's got it! Iowa quickly. Quinn Early. 64-yard pass from Poholsky, and the Hawkeyes pull within one.
Mike Weaver is given the task of guarding Quinn Early man for man. Mike Weaver, a senior himself. Poholsky just winds up and lets this ball fly. Weaver mistimes it. He's in position, but as you see him jump, he just mistimes the ball. It falls right into the hands of Quinn Early, who's positioned himself very well. He just walks on into the end zone there. Quinn Early has really been an added relief for the Hawkeyes coming on the latter half of this season and coming up with some big plays and really adding to this receiver core a big play threat.
Second touchdown pass of the season for Quinn Early. Rob Howland with the point after attempt. It is good, and we are tied at 7-all with 7:31 left in the first quarter. Early now, 14 catches on the year. That one, Iowa has used mostly the good kick, and that is what he does. And this is a good one. And it bounces back to the 1-yard line finally into the end zone. That was a break for the Boilermakers. If that ball would have turned the other way, it would have been tough for Woodson. Intended for Calvin Williams. Keaton Smiley was there. The pass wasn't close. Ball at the end on a last-second pass that Purdue tried to stop the clock with. Boilermakers go on the ground to Jerry Cheney. Brad Quast there on the stop along with George Davis. Davis leading the Hawkeyes.
They're bringing him in.
Cheney and Grant in the backfield. And the pass is incomplete. So Purdue will have to give it up. Downing having his set up the return. It'll bounce at the 45. And that is where the Hawkeyes will take over. 45. Purdue jumps offside and then back again. No flags down. Bayless is stopped. Second and 10. Poholsky with all the time in the world. He's got Marv Cook wide open at the 35-yard line. Finally knocked out of bounds by Kalinowski. Bass is the lone back. The handoff is to him. Strickland.
Richard Bass.
Picks Bass off at the 33-yard line. A pickup of maybe 2.
Stopped by Quinn Strickland.
Screen pass to Bayless. Bayless finds him room. Still on his feet. He may go in. Rick Bayless for the score. Bayless was bouncing off white jerseys like a pinball into the end zone, and Iowa takes the lead.
The Hawkeyes put this play to the wide side of the field to give Bayless plenty of room. But Poholsky in jumping it off, Bayless is hit initially by the Boilermakers' best tackler. This is Rod Woodson. Watch Rod Woodson come right up, solidly hit him, but Bayless just bounces right off and just starts weaving his way through the Boilermaker defense. The Hawkeyes set up a little wall there, but that's all Rick Bayless.
Outland and with the point after, it is good, and the Hawkeyes are on top of the Boilermakers, 14-7 with 4:50 stadium, full house on hand to see the Hawkeyes and Boilermakers. This one is picked off at the 25-yard line. And taken up to the 35, Lorenzo McCline, a sophomore from St. Louis, picks it up. There's a change in quarterback now for the Boilermakers. Jeff George is in, the freshman. He's had some back problems, and on first down, he does a great job of just getting rid of the ball. Jerry Chaney comes up with it almost to the line of scrimmage, but Jeff George, the freshman in Kinnick Stadium today. George in trouble again. Finds another receiver, though. It is complete to Rick Bruner. Has been interceptions. He's thrown 12 of them. They set up the screen pass, and it is stopped by Mike Burke. Mike Burke read it, wasn't fooled at all, and nailed Jerry Chaney at the 45-yard line.
Time to react.
Second down and 14. George fires a bullet across the middle. Rick Bruner comes up with it. Stopped by linebacker George Davis. Medlock and Grant line up behind George. They try the inside handoff, and it works. Depends on the mark if it's good enough for the first down. James Medlock up the middle, stopped by Kerry Burke. But Iowa was looking pass on third down. The Boilermakers surprised them with the run straight up the middle. And now the mark of the ball is critical here. And they are giving the Boilermakers the first down. So Purdue driving against the Hawkeyes. George on first down again goes to the air. And it's complete to Bruner. Timing a week and a half ago. George, though, says he is going to stay as of right now. And again, he finds Bruner. Now, George is 5 of 5 since he checked into the game. Wright Sistrunk in the secondary. Crow, Smiley, and Kerry Burke. Williams in motion. James Medlock straight up the middle. Pepe in on the stop along with George Davis. Second down and 7. And almost picked off. George may have just tried to throw that one away. Kyle Crow had a George out of the shotgun. Iowa tees off. They're coming after him. Breeze has got him on the run. But Bruner finds an opening and is down at the 8-yard line. So Jeff George keeps his composure, rolls out, finds his favorite receiver so far today in Bruner. Kenny Sims and Wright Sistrunk with. And that is the end of the first quarter. The Hawkeyes lead the Purdue Boilermakers 14-7, but Purdue is threatening. We'll be back in just a moment with the second quarter. Jerry Chaney down to the 5 now. That Iowa defense stiff arms and Jerry Chaney in the backfield. George will go to the air. He's got some time. And it is picked off. George Davis very alertly downs the ball in the end zone instead of trying to bring it out. The Hawkeyes stop the Boilermakers on 3rd and goal. George Davis, the senior from Des Moines, comes up with a big interception.
The Hawkeye defense did a good job of taking away all of George's receivers here. As he sets up, he's looking to find. He checks 2 or 3 different receivers. As he's fleshed out, he probably would have stood a better chance running it because the Hawkeyes had all their receivers. Davis realizing he's no Woodson, so he decides to down it. The Hawkeyes now have it at the 20 instead of the 2 or the 3. They'll go on the ground on first down, and Bayless finds a big opening, 10-yard gain, and picks up the first down for the Hawkeyes. 47 yards here in just one quarter. The draw play to Bayless, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Fred Strickland was there along with Murphy Williams. Tom Poholsky, the redshirt freshman at quarterback. He has been intercepted once today. Almost down that time, still on his feet. And he finds the big tight end, Mike Flagg. Flagg is wrestled down in Boilermaker territory at the 33-yard line by Mark Foster. But excellent play by Poholsky. But there again, that big play we talked about.
Sweep right. Bayless and Flagg start to fly. Could be some holding against Iowa. That's the general vicinity of that flag or clip. And that'll push the Hawkeyes back. Really the first penalty so far in the game.
And all credit to the Iowa offensive line. You haven't seen very many penalties called against this offensive line all season long. They played to be wise not to try to get it all at once.
The blitz is coming after Poholsky, and he loses the football. It is still loose. The official may have said he was down beforehand. The ball. Goodman is in the backfield for the Hawks now, along with Bayless. Poholsky has some time to throw. He finds Goodman coming out of the backfield, and they pick up 6 or 7 yards. Purdue giving him that short pass. 10-50
the middle and hope that he can pick up the additional yards, and if not, put him in good field goal position.
Quinn Early is in for the Hawkeyes. It is completed to Early, and he loses the ball as he goes down. Purdue is signaling it as though all the officials say he did not have it as he went down. So Early took a shot from
that rule. He didn't have possession long enough to constitute a completion.
Costabala punts for the Hawkeyes. It is a poor kick. Will squiggle out of bounds at the 22-yard line, where the Boilermakers will take over. 10:08 left in the half. It is Iowa 14 and Purdue 7. Allen has hit a 46-yarder.
I don't know if that was blocked or not, but it didn't even come close. Howland knocked down the official as he was...
Jeff George still the quarterback in the shotgun. All sorts of 15s. George out of the shotgun. He's got time. And it is in and out of the hands of Ken Sims. Kenny Sims, the old man, I guess.
With some type of running game, they haven't done well to date, but if they continue with their consistent passing downfield, that'll open up some of the holes for the running back.
George scrambling and goes down. Bruce Gear got to him. Along with Frost and Haight all wide left on 3rd and 28. And Purdue goes on the ground. And a big gainer for the Boilermakers. Caleb Boilermakers will punt. Peter Marciano takes it at the 15-yard line. Has an opening down the sideline. Marciano steps out of bounds. Looked like he had stepped out of bounds at the 30-yard line. The officials started to mark it, but Marciano kept it going, stayed in bounds, and breaks it. Poholsky still the quarterback. Started the game instead of Mark Vlasic. Play action pass. Plenty of time. And it is Harmon taking a shot from Strickland after the catch. Pick up of 3, maybe 4. The Boilermakers come on the blitz. Tony Visco picks off pass. Fills the hole. Early splits wide to the left. Robert Smith is wide right. And a quick hitter across the middle to Marv Cook goes big down to the 26-yard line. Cook picks up the first. Takes some momentum into that locker room. The screen pass to Harmon. Kevin Harmon, shades of Ronnie. The kick. Pass, he stopped at the 4-yard line. Goodman in motion. And the option goes to Harmon. And Harmon takes it into the end zone from 4 yards out. The Hawkeyes go up 20-7.
defensive players.
Again, it's McCline crossing midfield. Quast is in on the stop. Kepi also there, along with Mike Burke. First and 10 from the 49. Downing checks in a quarterback. The pitch is to Cheney. He gets it outside, knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Terry Burt there on the second down and 3. The ball at the 42-yard line. Cheney again. And picks up the first down.
You know, throwing the football. Yeah, they will. They're lining up the shotgun.
Leon Burdnett playing musical quarterbacks. 3:56 left. First and 10 from the 38-yard line for the Boilermakers. Jeff George back in a quarterback. George is picked off by Quast. Brad Quast, one of Iowa's linebackers, just a freshman, picks off George, and that has been the rap on George all year. The interception is 13th of the year. First and 10 from the 42 for Iowa. And it's Harmon. He breaks it outside, trying to turn the corner, and he is caught by Scott Kalinowski.
And let Harmon run to daylight.
Harmon and Bass in the backfield. Poholsky is in trouble, gets it off. But Harmon is manhandled at the 38-yard. New Jersey has been in on a lot of tackles. 2:24 left. Third down and 14. The inside handoff to Harmon. And he loses the football. Harmon fumbles, and the Boilermakers have recovered. In the half, the Boilermakers with a chance to get back into the ball game. They trail Iowa 21-7. Lorenzo McCline. 12 yards. George's stats 6 of 10, but he's been intercepted twice. This one is complete to Calvin Williams. And more importantly, he goes out of bounds to stop the clock. Purdue still has 2 timeouts left, stopped by Kenny Sims and Bird along with Kyle Crow. But a first down for the Boilermakers now at the 28-yard line. Calvin Williams, McCline in the backfield. Williams in motion. James Medlock. Jeff Gross. Jeff George is in trouble, gets it off, and overthrows Calvin Williams. George out of the shotgun. And it is tipped into the hands of Bruce Gear. Bruce Gear, the senior from Madison, Wisconsin. First and 10 at the 36. 47 seconds left. Still time to get into field goal position. And Iowa will throw it. Poholsky in trouble. And he gets it off to Bayless, but Bayless loses the football. Now they're going to rule it an incomplete. Second and 10 from the 36. 39 seconds left. The draw play. The Harmon goes nowhere. So now Iowa just content to third down 11. This will be the last play of the half. Poholsky airs it out. Robert Smith is there, but it is picked off. The Boilermakers pick the pass off. The last pass of the half. Mark Foster comes up with the interception, but time runs out. The Hawkeyes will head to the locker room with a 14-point lead. At the half, it is Iowa 21 and Purdue 7. Don't go away. We've got a halftime interview with Keith Chappelle coming up next.
In great field position.
Bayless and Bass start in the backfield. Poholsky, the quarterback, and he finds Bayless coming out of the backfield for the first down to the 29-yard line. First and 10 from the 29. Poholsky will go to the air. He's in trouble. Gets it off to Bayless, and Bayless is caught maybe a gain of 1 or 2 yards. Bill Hitchcock Here's Bayless for the first down to the 15-yard line. I'd left on 1st and 10. Poholsky. Complete for Mike Brad. Touchdown, Iowa. Poholsky rolls right 15 yards out. Finds the big tight end from Cedar Falls. Mike Brad for the score. But a flag. Hartley with the hold. And it is good. So the Hawkeyes score quickly against the Boilermakers. It is Iowa 28 and Purdue 7. We'll be back on Sports Vision. Has gone to Murphy, and once again he'll line it low. And this one is another excellent kick, taken at the 4-yard line by Woodson, the leading kick returner in the Big Ten. Woodson reverses field and is caught from behind by Bob Cook. But a flag down on the play. There's a flag down at the 18-yard line. The backfield, the delayed draw to Tony Grant, and he is stopped cold. And another flag down. Lone score today coming on an interception return by Rod Woodson. George sprinting out. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. The pitch was to Lorenzo McCline. Brad Quast wrestles him down, along with George Davis. What a pleasant surprise Quast has been this year for the Hawkeyes. 3rd down and 7. George out of the shotgun. Iowa's coming after him. He gets it off quickly, and it is incomplete at the 28. George Davis was there. McCarthy will punt. He averaged 38 yards on 3 punts. His longest was 50. Taken by Marciano at the 28. He picks up 2, maybe 3 yards in his stop. Gerald Williams with the initial contact. So the Hawkeyes will take over with good. Rick Bayless cuts back upfield and picks up the first down out to the 47-yard line. Rick Bayless is such a deceptive runner. He appears to be down, cuts and weaves his way, picks up an extra for him to read the right way. Bayless 11 carries for 85 yards. Poholsky goes to the air, and it is complete to Marv Cook. Cook down at the 42-yard line. Iowa now into Purdue territory. Quinn Early coming over to assure them of a spot in a postseason bowl game, apparently the Holiday Bowl. Richard Bass picks up 5 or 6, and you notice Bass is carrying the ball with both hands that time as he went over the middle. Poholsky checks off, but the Hawkeyes take too much time. The 25-second. Kevin Ringer down to the 30-yard line. Kevin Ringer, one of those two. And instead they fake and go to the ground. Instead it is Rick Bayless. Bayless picks up 5. 9 down at 4. Pass straight up the middle. Pass down to the 15. Robert Smith in the end zone. And he just ran out of room. Smith got a hand on it. Was overthrown. Good take by Poholsky. Froze that line. He had all the time in the world to throw. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
To be playing for these Hawkeyes.
Richard Bass squirms his way for 1, maybe 2 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Hawkeyes. Out. Bayless into the end zone for the score. Rick Bayless, 12-yard touchdown. And the Hawkeyes are starting to run away with it.
As we talked about Rick Bayless not being scared, he bounced off quite a few people. Watch the collision we had.
With the hold. And it is dead center. So Bayless scampers 12 yards, and the Hawkeyes today. One from the Holiday Bowl, John Reed. Also an official from the Gator Bowl is here. Originally 6 or 7 Bowl scouts were supposed to be at the game, and that was one indication that Iowa had already made their decision because 4 or 5 of them canceled. James Medlock picks up 1, maybe 2 yards. Breeze in on the stop. 9. Downing to the air, across the middle, complete. At the 34-yard line, the ball shakes loose. And now they will say it was down. Inside handoff to James Medlock. Medlock makers need some points. And they may not have gotten the first down. George Davis came up and caught Medlock from behind. It depends on the mark, but Iowa acting like they did stop him, man. A junior from Woodstock, Illinois, checks into the game. So now Hayden Fry going to Hartleib instead of Tom Poholsky is in the backfield. It's Bayless, though, and he slips as he tries to make his cut at the 42. Bayless is covered by Bill. 3rd down and 8. And he goes down. Chris Keevers, number 70, the nose guard from Noblesville, Indiana. Have a
Interesting conversation on the sideline about that.
Castabala punting. Rod Woodson. Downing is in a quarterback still for the Boilermakers. And a little flea flicker, and they're going for it all. And it is caught in and out of the hands of Lance Shive. Downing out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 10 from the 41 after the long incomplete pass. This time he finds the seam, and it is complete. Down to the 40. The pitch is to Lorenzo McCline. McCline stopped by Breeze, also Myron Kepi. Champ going to the Rose Bowl. 2nd and 10. Downing has time. He's looking for Bruner, and he was out of bounds. He caught the ball, but couldn't stay in bounds at the 20-yard line. Sistrunk was there with the coverage, along with Keaton Smiley, but Hayes is wide left, Bruner wide right. Downey out of the pocket. And he's going to run with it. No place to go, down at the 43-yard line. Good coverage by the Hawkeye man. McCarthy hangs it high. Marciano will let it bounce into the end zone. And the Hawkeyes will take over 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line with 1:56 left to play. And a quarterback for the Hawkeyes. And it is Rick Bayless with a big hold. Picks up 12 yards across the 30. Out to the 32. Mark Foster, number 31 of the Boilermakers, finally stopped him, but receiver for the Hawkeyes. Bayless charges ahead. Tony Bisco made the stop, but Bayless is starting to rack up the yardage now. Goodman in the backfield along with Bayless. Hartley will go to the air. And it is complete at the 48-yard line. Harbers with the catch. That is only his 3rd reception of the year. The first 2, though, long touchdown scores.
Denver Harbers had a little battle going out there with Rod Woodson on the 2 previous, and that has a tendency to wear on you.
So confusion in the backfield. That time Hartley ran into Bayless as he tried to make the handoff. That will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. 5 seconds left. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. After 3 quarters of play, it is Iowa 35 and Purdue 7. We'll be back with the final quarter after this on Sports Station. After 48-yard line, Chuck Hartley is the quarterback. Marshall Cotton is in the backfield for the Hawkeyes. Hartlib with the reverse and just shy of the first down to a 41-yard.
It was the Fiesta Bowl on a January 1st in Arizona.
The flea flicker on 3rd and 1. Iowa's going for it all, and it is good. Travis Watkins, the freshman from Claremont, California, comes down with it. His first touchdown as a Hawkeye, and Iowa on 3rd and 1 fools everybody.
Watch the flea flicker here. As he passes the ball back to Hartlib, you don't see a Boilermaker in sight. They're all over the running back. It was pretty good defense, but Hartlib just gets a super pass to Travis Watkins, who outruns the defensive man for the Boilermakers. That's a great throw and a super concentration on Travis Watkins.
Found himself open. Hartlib had it on the money. Outland is also on the money, and it is Iowa. Cheney back deep, along with Rod Woodson for the Boilermakers. Again, another split kick by the Hawkeyes. It's taken by Lorenzo McCline. McCline across the 40 to the 43-yard line. A true freshman. 1st and 10 for the Boilermakers from the 44. Downing is still the quarterback for the Boilermakers. James Medlock stopped out of the shotgun. Iowa's coming after him. He gets it off, and it is incomplete. Intended for Caleb Bonds.
These passes and come up with another interception.
Downing over the middle. Incomplete. Rick Bruner was the intended receiver. Downing just 2 of 8 for the Boilermakers today. He will punt from the 35-yard line. Peter Marciano will take it at the 24. Marciano goes right, cuts it up the middle. Still on his feet, and now stopped at the 27-yard line. Nate Mark, tough quarterbacks, number 1 and number 2, tough quarterbacks in the country last year. The handoff goes. Come on. 2nd down and 9 from the 28. McGuire to the air. And he lays it up. Watkins, intended receiver, almost picked off. Ronnie McGuire, 4 of 9 on the year. Only thrown 9 passes. 1 interception, 2 TDs. This one is overthrown. Harmon, the intended receiver. Quarterback. Costaballa almost has it blocked, and there will be roughing the kicker. This time Woodson grabs it at the 25-yard line, is buried right there where he picks it up, but a flag down. Costaballa went down as he got rid of it. May come down to the last game of the season. Woodson takes it at the 25. There's another flag down at the 33-yard line. Could be an offsides call. Has not been very sharp this afternoon. Medlock.
But here they are, just 3 games later, both of them actually seeing action and performing pretty well.
Medlock again, the inside handoff. The ball shakes loose, but he is already down.
Seen limited playing time since.
Downing is flushed out of the pocket, now forced to run with it. Worth comes up to take a shot at him. Cold out there. Temperature at the start of the game was 45. It has gone down since we started. Marciano takes it at the 8. Cuts it up the middle and is stopped at the 9-yard line. Todd Seaman makes the stop for the Boilermakers.
Marciano showing his confidence and his ability at a punt inside their 10-yard line. He took that on about the 8th. After
Pat Coppinger is in the ball game at receiver for the Hawkeyes. Harmon with the carry. Out to the 15-yard line. Tony Bisco coming up to make the stop.
Bayless coming on.
Pitches to Harmon. He reverses field. And picks up the first down. Good second effort by Kevin Harmon. Crosses the 20-yard line, out to the 21. As well, Mike Miller is now in at left tackle. McGuire has got Watkins wide open at the 40-yard line. Across the 45 and out of bounds at the 47. Travis Watkins with another big reception for the Hawkeyes.
But this playing experience these freshmen are getting now will really add a lot to their confidence next year.
Grant Goodman with a big gain for the Hawkeyes. Goodman down to the 41 and another first down. With 8:32 left to play. It's Goodman once again twisting his way down to the 36. Number 57, Todd Keenan, making the stop.
Count that, but they do fine work in covering punts, returning kickoffs, and then when their opportunity comes, they step in and perform very, very well.
McGuire to the air on 2nd and 5. Harberts with the reception at the 15. Devin Harberts, the sophomore from Walnut, Iowa, with his second reception.
Jim Morrow. And these two young kids are performing very well.
Grant Goodman down to the 10-yard line. Derek Kelson stopping him at the 10. You know,